It's Ashley and Mike with another episode of Debt Collection 101 on Arbeit U. We have a third-time guest now, and this is our first time doing an in-home episode. We have Greg Ruffino, the Director of Training at Williams and Fudge. So thank you again for joining us.
Well, thanks again for having me back on Arbeit. It's always good to see you fine folks. And I'm surprised this is the first in-home one, but cool.
Well, with us, all of us. Mm-hmm. We're usually together, at least. But we're going to talk about how to remain engaged as a remote employee during this time. So how has Williams and Fudge pivoted during the COVID-19 pandemic to maintain operations and keep agents safe?
Yeah, so like everyone else in the world, a lot of this came very quickly, and we were all faced with the same challenges, but we were set up differently, right? That was not an even playing field. So very fortunately, in our office specifically, there was several years of wheels turning in the past where there was disaster recovery, things being put into place, certainly not specific to a pandemic, just in general, having to shut down the office for any given number of reasons. So there's a lot of things on the tech side that have been started and a lot of things already in place. It's made a very good opportunity to put some of those things to the test and to go through those processes again to double check them. But so on the front end, we were set up for success. We're very thankful for that. But on the back end, now that we're into this fun stuff, it's really taken things that were going to be done in the next, 6 to 18 months that were on the books, and they're now getting put to the front part of the stove, and we're cooking with that now. So we're reshifting a lot of our priorities, and I know a lot of other businesses and industries out there, not just in collections, but I hear people talking positively saying that we're already a better company because of this exercise, or we're going to be a better company. I know that's not the case for everybody, but a lot of our friends in the industry, we are being able to overcome some of these challenges, and it's really cool to see that we're able to, solve these problems together. So we're excited to get back to the office, but I love how we're transitioning with our staff right now. We're proving that we can get these things done.
Awesome.
That's great. Yeah. And just kind of in the terms of like keeping employees or agents engaged at this time, is there any new initiatives that have been implemented from the top down during this time? Yeah.
So the most critical part was really that first 2 or 3 weeks, which probably was about on the middle of March for most people, or right around that time frame where around the country we were all on the same page. And that first 2 or 3 weeks, it was really just trying to get agents set up from home and a lot of putting out of fires and small technical stuff. But once you kind of got the operation side, we were able to produce again, and you had the majority of your agents set up to do the work from home, we really started focusing on how can we engage the staff. We have to envision this going to be a minimum of a few months, and we're not going to be back in the office in 2 weeks from now. We can just hold our breath. This is going to be something to sustain. And there's lots of products out there, so I'm not trying to plug anything, but we had the Microsoft suite lined up for a long time. So we brought on the Teams features, and that was something that we really weren't going to push for, again, for maybe another 12 or so months. But this made that the priority project, and even rolling something out like that can be very complex, and it could take your office several months to do that, but we didn't really have that time. So we really were able to package in under a month a product to get our engagement levels way up with the team leaders and the frontline producers. Those first couple of weeks, because we were doing stuff with whatever you could do, whether it was a FaceTime, on Facebook Messenger, whatever the case is, anything you can get some of that FaceTime with the staff, we were using it. But some of that stuff, you don't have a whole lot of compliance measures on or checks and measures with, so we needed to get the more formalized system in place, and that's what we've been able to do, and it's been a massive, massive help for us.
Good to hear. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I know as your role as Director of Training, you're used to having everyone you're doing different classes and classrooms at the office. So how has your role changed now that agents are remote? And what kind of training exercises have been most successful so far?
Well, it's definitely been a challenge, and you also got to kind of reshuffle the priorities. So the first 2 to 3 weeks of people being from home, we weren't looking to, recertify you in FDCPA or something to that effect. We need to get people operational, first of all, and solving a lot of those problems. So some of the training stuff that came out was very specific to helping you work from home. This wasn't like drilling some third-party rules at you or something to that effect. This was very in the moment. We're not going to be giving you these quizzes and tasking you with anything that isn't going to help you learn how to do your job from home right now. So that's all we really focus on for 2 or 3 weeks. But in that time as well, my specific role, we put out a lot of videos, things that I kind of had to learn how to do. I am learning things on the fly right now myself, so I love a good opportunity for forced learning, just like people are learning how to be remote workers now. I'm learning all kinds of different software and program and editing, video production stuff. So we started putting out a lot of inspirational, motivational, funny kind of videos. People would send us content of what they were doing at home with their kids so people could see each other's faces. So the first 3 weeks, we had a lot of fun videos just to keep people's morale up and to drop little nuggets of work from home kind of problem solving initiatives. But since the turn of April, maybe first week into April, I have started now putting out actual formalized all learning management system stuff. It's all done virtually. Video is for sure, Ashley, to answer your question, video is 100% the best thing that you can be doing, especially using your own faces and voices as much as possible to connect with people. With the Microsoft Teams platform, we're starting now to have the one-on-one interactions or group meetings and things like that. So that is absolutely the most effective, because it's really hard when you're not in the office face-to-face getting like the eye-to-eye. Did you contemplate that? Did you understand it? Can I see and hear you doing those things in person? So it's still a challenge, but it's making us better for the future already.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Wait, I think I was listening. Dave did an ACA one. Do you guys have a coloring book that you're giving people?
Yeah. So it was actually, I got one in the mail from our marketing team, which is pretty cool. But I'm pretty sure whether it's on LinkedIn, Facebook, all the socials, they posted it, and it's like an activity book. And I actually didn't really do much for my kids for Easter this year. They're young enough to still go out and find the eggs and all that stuff. We didn't go shopping or whatever. And I didn't think should put Easter toy things in your Instacart. I didn't think that was a good idea. So it was a great timing. The Saturday before Easter, I got this packet in the mail. I was like, perfect. I'm going to put this in their basket and say, that was my gift. But yeah, it's a coloring book and a scavenger hunt, and even the adults might have fun with it.
That's awesome. Cool.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully they don't have LinkedIn or Facebook or anything, so they can find out, where they actually got that coloring book from.
Yeah, I guess the people in our marketing department are staying busy, so
that's awesome. Mm-hmm. So I know you talked about video conferencing, but has there been any other initiatives that you personally found to be helpful from the leadership team to kind of help you out as a remote employee here?
Yeah, so I think a lot of it also comes down to the messages that come from the top down, right? So a lot of people are looking to be told what to do. I don't know what to do. Am I doing the right thing? Do I still have a job? And from the get-go, people are so worried about a job that is so reliant on production, right? Production equals dollars. And now you're working from home. Your kids are home from school. Your distractions are through the roof. And it's so easy in this day and age to be able to micromanage production, even remotely. You could have a team lead, a manager at home just watching production numbers and making assumptions that you're not doing your job or something. So from us, the mentality has been putting out all these messages throughout the day. It's a beautiful day outside, guys. Make sure to go outside and take a break. Go walk around the block. Don't forget to go outside. Being very understanding with some production dips, but making sure that we're still having those conversations. So I hear about companies out there right now across the country who rapidly are trying to adapt to this work from home environment, and they don't trust their employees, and they're purchasing software where they're getting their pictures taken every 5 minutes on their webcam to make sure they're working. And that's a terrifying thing. Speak about Big Brother. I personally would not want to work for a company that had me getting my picture taken every 5 minutes to show or prove my productivity. So of course, we're not doing anything anywhere near those lines, but we're putting a lot of trust in our employees to still get the job done, support them, have a lot of leeway, and to actually communicate that so they know it. And I believe when your employee is already thankful enough that they're still employed during this time when a lot of people aren't, and then you're giving them those levels of trust, I mean, that just makes them that much more of a grateful employee. They're going to do the right thing for your clients. They're going to do the right thing for the office. They're going to keep the business humming, and they're going to be really, really appreciative of those things. And When it comes time to turn everything back on, they're not going to think about trying to find a new job with the change of the times and seasons. They're going to come right back into that office and keep doing a great job for you.
Yeah. Well, you kind of touched on distraction. So I know working at home, I actually have my cat laying like right in front of me right now, and he's really annoying. So there he is. Hi.
Nice.
Okay. So what has been the hardest part of staying engaged while working from home, and what has worked for you to rise above it?
Yeah, it's more than like the same for everybody with the cat, but I got a couple cats too, but we don't let them in the house. The kids being at home is a major factor for a lot of adults, obviously, right now. And depending on the age of your kids and the quantity and maybe the square footage of your house or apartment is going to make for drastic factors there. But that's obviously a huge challenge for all of us right now. But I think a lot of us realize that we can multitask more than we even thought we could in the past. Depending on your specific job, you might realize that not everything needs to get done between 8 and 5. Maybe it does. I don't know. In my particular world, I'm having some success working at night, but I know that's not the collectors out there and some of the other positions in the industry. But my best thought process and advice, just like I'm in this room right now, no matter what you have in your house, you have to have some sort of space, right? You have to have some sort of dedicated area. Maybe the cat can come in, but kids can't be coming in, at least bare minimum. And for me as well, I keep the schedule. Even though I do work into the night a little bit, I'm still logging in by 8 o'clock like it's a normal day. I'm still taking a lunch break around the same amount of time. It's just getting into a routine. And at the end of the day, I will kind of say this. This is a chance for everyone to adapt. And I'm a big proponent of adapt or die, sink or swim. This is a time to be learning new skills, to be proving yourself viable in the future workforce, because this will be more and more prevalent for everybody. This is just a taste of the future. I think it'll become more and more normalized. I think it's fantastic to see people who never thought they knew how to turn on a laptop at their house are now able to collect money on a cell phone and a laptop in their probably I'll assume in their pajamas.
It's all right.
Michael, I don't even want to know what you're wearing below the camera view.
I don't even want to tell you. Yeah, you kind of answered my next question here. It was kind of be like, what kind of advice or tips would you give to an employee who's struggling to stay engaged while working remote? I know you say keeping a schedule, maybe keeping a safe space as well, so cats or kids can't run in there at all times. But is there anything else you'd say?
It would be more or less. It's a great time for a little gut check, I think, because it's very easy to allow for certain nuances that you might have at your house. I don't have the space. I got the kids. Well, you tell me, can you do the job? Maybe that isn't your situation. We have about 250 collectors, and I think to this day there's still somewhere close to 10 that are going into the office still for any number of reasons. Maybe they just don't have that situation at the house where they have any space or they don't have the equipment, whatever the case is. Fortunately, we're able to keep part of our office open, but that's not the case for everybody. So can you keep a job? Can you make it happen? I'd love to sugarcoat an answer, Mike, and say these magical answers that says if you just keep a schedule and if you get dressed like it's a normal day of work and you take your lunch at 12 and if you go on your breaks, that you're going to have a great time. That's not true for everybody. Some people need to be in an office environment. So I'm saying to you is prove yourself wrong. It's not for, we will gladly assume that this is not forever. It's super temporary and you can hold your breath long enough and survive. I believe in you, even though I don't know you, internet stranger. Believe in yourself. It's time to learn those new skills to make this happen. So you do have a job to go back to when the doors open back up. And that's just the hard truth.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100% there. I felt that.
You felt that?
I felt that, Greg.
All right. Well, that is all we have. Thank you for your advice, especially during this time, and for joining us again on another great episode. So thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you guys once again.
Thank you.